This is
CJLO 1690 AM.
The following conversations and discussions may contain material and language not suitable for some people. Listener discretion is advised. You're listening to On Rotation, a special CJLO radio presentation. I'm Saturn De Los Angeles. It is no surprise that we're at a time where things are changing. Some call it a turmoil of gloom and doom. Others call it an exciting paradigm shift. But however you see it, one thing is for sure. Change is a constant thing, and it will always be a part of our reality. And perhaps you can also say the same for the world of hip-hop. As for the genre and the sound itself, is currently at the forefront of some big changes. But is the world ready for it? To redefine itself and embrace its newfound renaissance? Well, for this segment, you'll hear a sound collage of various perspectives from people who are deeply involved in the music they care about. I got to speak with Emma Bronson, a former participant at Rock Camp for Girls, Melissa Fundira, a close friend of our hip-hop artist resident. Lucas Charlie Rose is an up-and-coming young rapper. He is also an advocate for transgender rights, not just in his own community, but also in the world of hip-hop music. You will also hear our own Kelly Belfo and Amru Weeks. Kelly is our always ever supportive world music director at CJLO, and Amru is the host of the station's longest-running hip-hop and R&B program, The Limelight.
My name is Melissa Fundira. I know Strange Froots through Mags. I met Mags like just over 2 years ago, I want to say. I really wanted to do hip-hop karaoke, and it was like literally a block away from my house, but for some reason I always like felt this like weird block, but I never could because my roommate and friend would organize Thursdays Alive at McGill, which was like the CKUT thing where they would have bands play on campus, and I would always support or help out or whatever. But finally Thursdays Alive was done. There was like the first hip-hop karaoke of the summer, and I kept on talking about it with these other friends of mine, and they were like, oh, you gotta meet Mags, he does hip-hop karaoke. And we happened to be at the same night, like, I don't know, somebody was DJing, and they were like, oh, this is Mags. So I meet Mags, and we're chatting, and I just felt kind of like an instant connection with her, like somebody who's just a music geek and who has been for a long time, and who maybe wasn't appreciated for it in high school and was starting to come into her own, and I felt just kind of an affinity with her. And finally, I think it was like May 2014, I did my first hip-hop karaoke, and I loved it. I just had like the time of my life. And I remember when I stepped off the stage, everybody was giving me daps and props, and one of the first people there was Mags. She was like, yo! Like, I just remember her, she like really loved the performance, and we decided like, we have to perform together. That's sort of how we started the friendship, and I'm sure. Well, for hip-hop, it's not something that's necessarily supported by the establishment. I think it's supported in ways that are palatable to the average Quebecer. So if you have like really cutesy raps about like La Belle Province or shit like that, then I'm sure it would be a hit. But if you're somebody who is just like a real hip-hop head, I don't think that there's much support, like establishment support here, which is why I think in many ways is almost like a brain drain of talent here in some ways, especially if it's Anglophone, and especially if it's not palatable to every single person. Like, that's the one thing I would say about Montreal in general, is that a lot of the things that, for certain things to get to a different level, a lot of things end up leaving. Like, I think about Vice. I think about even K-Tronada is getting a lot of love within his scene here, but got huge outside of Montreal. And like, you read the reviews from Quebec writers, and you're like, you don't get it at all.
It's like I'm seeing an evolution and a de-evolution. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of mainstream artists who aren't even taking the craft seriously anymore. They just playing a beat that they think everyone wants to hear, and the lyrics are complete garbage. You know, it's in fact, it's like some people don't even say lyrics anymore. It's just a couple of lines, you know what I mean? Some catchphrases on the song, and that's it. It's a hit. And then people are buying their music and selling out the shows. So you're seeing that one side, which is discouraging. But on the other side, you're seeing hip-hop evolve. You know, where they're putting more like electronic elements into it, and they're getting a bit more creative. So like K-Tronada, for example. You know, so when you see that, it's encouraging. And also, too, you do see quality artists that are in the mainstream, like Kendrick Lamar. You know, I think Drake has good lyric, good content. So it's weird. It's like, you're like, oh, what's going on? But then you're like, oh, but they're out there, so that's good, too.
And how about you, Kelly?
I totally agree with Amru. All of these nonsensical lyrics with like just words and terrible about booty and like it's. I was listening to hip hop just again, listening to some old, and it's like telling you to go to school and get an education and be good to your mama. And now there's like songs like nothing to do with anything except for getting drunk, getting stoned, having a party, living your life, and then dying because you got to do it all right away. You know what I mean? It's
I don't know about you, but remember when Little John came out? No? Yeah,
Little John.
Yeah, Little John. And we were just like, okay, this is not the best. But now when I listen to it now, I'm like, wow, that's actually pretty good.
Compared to everything
what we're
now.
hearing today. You know? So it's like what was crappy back then is actually good now.
So what are you saying? It's just going to get worse, the mainstream, or?
I don't know. That's what it is. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, if we look at what you said, like some of the artists now that they kind of mix the sound a lot, like K-Tronada. I don't even know if I never even called it hip-hop necessarily, right?
I didn't know K-Tronada was hip-hop to begin with.
Yeah. So just like throwing it out there like that, you know? And like the Lions, we heard them and they throw in all this like amazing sounds. They got a new album that's going to be coming out. Like there's going to be some sounds there. I won't say anything because I want you guys to check them out. But the Lions, man, you know, they use amazing beats all made themselves. Like, and there's still that real, like what I think is hip hop and rapping, right? Like there's lyrics, verses, and it's like, that for me is something that I should always see in hip hop. Maybe I'm like old school or I you know, but I always think there should be some kind of like lyricism.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just like one sentence repeated over
to repeat.
Like it needs to make sense. You need to catch my attention. You need to like be witty. You need to say something in your lyrics. You got to make me think about what you said because I know that there's like a double meaning somewhere. Like and education. Like even if it's something that it's about pop culture, but there's always something that is talked about, and I'm like, okay, I gotta look it up because I have no idea what he's talking about. And then you're like, oh, I get it now, you know, like that kind of stuff. Make you think, make you work, and that is what's lacking. Maybe.
You're listening to On Rotation, a special CJLO radio presentation. The following conversations and discussions may contain material and language not suitable for some people. Listener discretion is advised. What was your idea of Montreal, like, before moving?
I expected everybody to be bilingual. I was like, you live in a city that offers you French and English. Why would you not learn the both? And when I came here and I realized people were not bilingual, I was kind of like, wait, what? Why? Like, I didn't get it. I was like... But don't you, like, I would have loved to be, like, introduced to, like, 2 languages that early in my life. And, like, I mean, yeah, I'm bilingual now, but I learned English when I was, like, 16, 17 years old, you know?
Oh, wow.
I'm just hanging out in the English side.
But when you discovered that, did it affect the way, you know, making music? Like, language?
Yeah, because I was basically expecting to, like, still be able to keep my French and like be in this French community, but at the same time I'm not interested in making music for a French market. Like in general, for like the total of my career, I'm not interested in having my career solely be for French speaking people. Like I'm more interested in the English speaking world because English is a lot more simple. It's like a language that is a lot more accessible. So like when you make music in English, for me, it's not just for people who speak English. It's for everybody. Because like my favorite songs back when I didn't speak English were English songs, but the language is so melodic. It's just like it works better for me because France is really a country that I'm not interested in anymore because it's not even a democracy anymore. Like this country is like it's sorry for the word, but it's up. And for me, there's no future over there. I'm not interested in living in a country that does not acknowledge my existence. It does not want me to reproduce out of all things, for example, you know. As a trans person, not only that, but French language is extremely violent because of how gendered it is. People, for example, if you don't speak French, you go in a room and you say, "Ah, j'ai mis quelque chose sur le table." It's like you misgendered the table because the table is supposed to be feminine, which is like, tables has no gender or whatever. And like, but people are gonna get mad at you. People will be like, "Oh no, I can't believe you said that. It's la table, not le table." But then your pronouns, they don't give a shit. Like, they're gonna keep calling me like she, and like, I'm like, no, it's he, but they can't get, and it's like, why would you correct? You know, so like, basically when you live in a society in which the language makes you feel like you're not even respected like an object, like you're less than an object, basically. And so for me, that language is extremely violent. And not only that, it's like completely deleting the existence of non-binary people and all. And so yeah, for me, French represents a lot of things that I don't think, even if I decided to focus on the French community, I would not have a future. I don't know, because people are just not ready for me, I guess.
Just don't let me go. Just don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Just don't let me go. Just don't.
What is your favorite or most memorable story with Strange Fruits? The more random, the better.
Oh, Jesus. Mine is probably when they approached me for the EP. Like, I was not looking for that or expecting that at all. Yeah, I had just been to a couple of their shows. Like, Max had invited us once. It was like a month ago. I got a text from Melissa. You were like, "Oh, why aren't you answering your phone? You always answer your phone. Can I please talk to you? This is really important." And I had to play in like half an hour. Like, I had to go get ready and I had to go put my costume and makeup on. And she just basically just sent me a screenshot of a text from Max being like, "Would Emma be interested in being on our EP and recording it and performing it with us?" And she sent me the screenshot, and I don't think I moved for like 5 minutes.
And like Emma's on her phone game.
Hey.
Okay. She wasn't responding for like 4 minutes. I'm like, she's dead.
Went to see my best friend, and she freaked out because she knew about Strange Fruits. And then I called Melissa, and I thought she was kidding. My birthday was in a couple of days, and I was like, if you ask them to do this, I will kill you. Like, and she had it, and it was super random. And then I called Mags, and she was like, "Okay, let's meet up tonight, and we can listen to the song, and then we can meet up later this weekend and record it." And I was like, what the is going on? Like, what is happening right now? And I was just like, this is really intense. I can't meet up tonight. Can we do it tomorrow? And basically the next day we met up and we wrote the song. Like, we wrote my part for the song.
Which is?
The song is called Darling. I think I just really appreciated how she also like made me an artist page that day. She was like so on top of it. She was like, and I was like, how did you discover me? She was like, YouTube. I was like, these are videos I posted when I was like 12 of me. There's like 2 of them on my channel. I was like, you looked me up on YouTube. I was like, no, this is not what I want you to know about me. It was fine though, and I sent her my SoundCloud page, and she made me an artist page on Facebook, and she's running my artist page.
Wow.
Like, she really, really, like, really took me under her wing in, like, literally in the span of 12 hours. I cried a little bit. I mean, not the next day, but when I saw the text message and before I had to go on stage, already I think I was overwhelmed. And, like, I don't know, I think I just really appreciated, like, Mags and Melissa and other women of color, older, who kind of just, like, took me in and didn't really think about my age as, like, an inconvenience or, like, a problem, you know what I mean? Just kind of saw me for me. I think I really appreciated that from the start. And, like, Mags is very real, and I really, really, really love that about her. I wish them nothing but success and the recognition that they deserve, because they really deserve recognition. The good thing now I find is that I feel like perhaps there's more room to grow now because you're not limited to your geographical location. Like, you put your shit online, and next thing you know, like, you could just, you know what I mean? Like, there's no borders in that sense, which is nice. So that, I think, helps to minimize the constant institutional push against things like hip-hop, or genres like hip-hop in this city and this province. But yeah, I don't know, like, I'm still learning too at the same time. Like, there are many people who have many hip-hop groups that have been very well known and respected here that I didn't know about until very recently, and I think that, like, there's a lot to learn also from people who have been doing it for a long time.
It's nothing but love. Like, these girls are amazing. Everyone on rotation who applied are talented, wonderful people who are proud to be hip-hop artists, who are proud to be from Montreal, you know, like, we're happy to be part of this on rotation at CJLO. Like, this was even there for them, and like, everybody was thankful. Like, it was a very appreciative, like, I don't know, good vibe. You can see the love is there, and everybody's happy to be part of this project. So you know it's supposed to happen. You know, there's no questioning anything. Everything is happening like fluidly, and like, it's become a family. Even if you just met, you become part of the family.
Your definition of hip hop.
That sounds cheesy, but beats, rhymes, life. You know, like Tribe Called Quest. You know, good lyrics, good beats, creativity, originality, culture. Still the same.
Family, support.
Still like before. That hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Hasn't changed before back in the days.
Yeah.
Has it changed?
Yeah, even if the music's changed in mainstream,
Yeah.
Underground, the love and the family and the community is all still there.
Yeah, it's all still there in all forms.
Yeah.
Froots has not only earned their rightful place in our roster of outstanding and promising musical acts, alongside fellow counterparts in the recent world and upcoming RPM and metal genres. The Froots have also inspired young, curious music makers to pursue their own adventures, and in turn even collaborate with them too. For this young hip-hop group that has a ton of surprises to bring to the table, spontaneity can be a good thing. And this basket of fruits is one of many surprises, as one local act definitely to keep an eye for, as they not only set out to share their narratives through sound, but also redefine the sound that has inspired them in helping empower the next generation.
Get your seatbelt fastened. Get your seatbelt fastened. Don't cry, 'cause it's over. Be happy, 'cause it
On Rotation, the radio documentary has been made possible thanks to the support of fellow CJLO crew members who include Patricia Patiliang, Ellen Smallwood, Joanna Kumo, Andrew Wheeler, Kelly Belfo, the aloof hipster Chubi Nebe, and Amru Weeks. A special mention and thanks as well goes out to Lucas Charlie Rose, Melissa Fundira, Emma Bronson, and last but not the least, Strange Fruits, composed of Mags, Naika, and Sage. This presentation is also dedicated to all of the people who pour in their heart and soul in making great independent radio happen. On Rotation is part of CJLO's year-long artist residency series, supporting and nurturing great local talent with the generous financial support of the Community Radio Fund of Canada. You can learn more all about it and how you can get involved by either going to CJLO.com or visiting us at our studios located at 7141 Sherbrooke Street West in Montreal. You can contact us on rotation at CJLO.com. I'm Saturn De Los Angeles, and from the edge of your AM radio dial, it's been a blast hearing your stories, and I hope to hear more of them in the future. I'll see you around the block, And as the Froots would always say, stay cute, stay fruit. Thank you for listening to On Rotation from your friends here at 1690 AM in Montreal, Canada. This has been a CJLO production.